What's good with y'all boys? Welcome back to the episode of Rank Everything Sports Podcast. Today I'm here to talk down and break down the Texans going to Baltimore, taking on the Red Hot Ravens. Now, in this video I'm going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens side of things and the Texans side of things and what these two teams can do to come up victorious in this game. Now, Baltimore is currently favored by 9.5 points. That means they're playing on a neutral site. They would think Baltimore is about a touchdown favorite, essentially. I think that's about right. I think a touchdown favorite is about right. I think 9.5 may be a little too high, but you never know because the Texans are still such a young team, player-wise and coach-wise. So, start off with the Baltimore Ravens side of things. Lamar needs to win. He does. He's going to be a two-time MVP. He's won 53 games in 5 years. That's crazy. That's one of the highest winning percentages ever, all time. And he has one playoff win. And he plays bad in the playoffs. He just does. He has a 4-10 total touchdown to turnover ratio. That means he has 10 total turnovers and only 4 total touchdowns in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, he just doesn't play well in the playoffs. The playoffs have been his kryptonite, and that's his biggest knock. You know, it's concerning because this could turn into is he just a regular season quarterback? Is he the James Harden of the NFL? Is he another Dak Prescott? And that's because, honestly, Dak, it seems like Dak's that type of guy now. It just does. You know, is he another Dak Prescott? Or is he the James Harden of the NFL? So I think Lamar is facing the most pressure out of any of these guys, probably across the NFL this week. He just is. I mean, he's facing an immense amount of pressure because he has to play well in the playoffs. Let's face it. And he's been a big reason why their team has only won one playoff game in the last 4 or 5 years. You know, he just has. Listen, if not now, then when for the Ravens? They've dominated everybody. They killed the Lions. They killed the 49ers. They beat Miami. I mean, this team has been rolling over all the good teams, all the top teams. You know, three of those teams are playoff teams. 2 of those teams are going to play Saturday and Sunday. I mean, and they just rolled them. I mean, was never close, not even close at all. So if not now, then when? I mean, Lamar is going to win another MVP. He seems to be making leaps and bounds as passing wise. You know, Todd Monken has really brought the best out of that young man. I say young man, like he's not older than me, but he's brought the best out of him. He has, and he's been playing excellent, and he looks amazing throwing the football. But if not now, then when for the Ravens? They have a solid defense. They have a really good defense, actually. Now, Marlon Humphrey being out is going to hurt, but Kyle Hamilton back in the lineup. He didn't play against Miami. Wasn't a problem. He, of course, sat out the next week against the Steelers, and then he's also been off again. But Mark Andrews is probably going to be back in the lineup. He was a full participant in practice Wednesday. I'm sure he'll practice again Thursday and Friday. But Mark Andrews is probably going to be back. Isaiah Likely still been playing amazing. But they'll have their full units of weapons, adding Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has officially made the 53-man roster, and I'm sure he may get a few touches here and there, and we'll see how much he has left in the tank. The Jets really didn't use him. They had Breece Hall, who's a very, very solid back, a very good back, honestly. But their offensive line is terrible, so, I mean, you can't really expect much out of Dalvin Cook. He's also aging, but we may see him get some touches. We may. They still got Justice Hill and Gus Edwards. So I'm not sure how much attention and how many touches he'll get, but they're going to have their full arsenal ready. Andrews, Zay Flowers, OBJ, Likely, Gus Edwards. You know, they're going to have their full arsenal. So that's the Ravens side of things. Now for the Texans. The Texans can't lose. They're in a win-win scenario right here. They're the second youngest team playing right now behind Green Bay. C.J. Stroud playing ridiculous. I mean, coming off a crazy game. I mean, what did he do their last game? I mean, let's see what he did in his playoff game that he just dominated. Yeah, C.J. Stroud, their last game, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, they ran the ball well. They did everything right. They completely balled. I mean, they're in a can't-lose situation. D'Amico Ryans. I mean, this is way more than you could ever ask for as a first-year coach. And mind you, they're doing this without their second-best receiver in Tank Dell. This team has been playing excellent. They made the right adjustments at the running back position, moving from Damian Pierce to Singletary. Dalton Schultz coming along. Nico Collins. Oh, he is coming along as a top 15 receiver in the league right now. He's playing exceptionally well. They have all these other guys playing well. They're in a can't-lose scenario. All the pressure is off of them. Just like against Kansas City and the Bills, how I think most of the pressure is on the Bills, there's no doubt in my mind, and I don't think anybody will argue this, all the pressure is on Baltimore in this game. Because the Texans have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. So that's my thing with those two teams. Now, how these teams can win. For the Baltimore Ravens, hell, just do what you've been doing all year. Just do what you've been doing all year. Now, these two teams did meet earlier in the season. By early, I mean literally the earliest you could, the first game of the season. And Baltimore did win 25-9. Lamar Jackson, 169, no touchdowns passing, and 1 interception. But he did have 38 yards rushing, so he didn't play a good game. And, there's an argument to be made. Rust versus rest. Rust versus rest. Will the Ravens come out slow and be rusty, or will they come out rested? And I think one of the biggest things is, can the Texans get off to a fast start? I think if the Texans come out and punch them in the mouth and maybe get up 7-0 early, get off in the lead, Lamar has yet to prove that he can play from behind. He just has. And the Ravens have yet to prove they can play from behind with that running system, Now, like I said, Lamar's been throwing exceptionally well. They've been playing exceptionally well. But they haven't proven that they can play from behind. So I think if the Texans can jump out early, because I'm sure that the Ravens will be rusty. It's just, listen, not playing for 3 weeks, your starters. Now, I know all the starters did not play, but the main guys didn't play. For this to be 3 weeks, So, rush versus rest. If the Texans come out early and they jump on them, the Ravens are going to be in a dogfight. But if the Ravens come out and do what they've been doing all year, I think they'll be fine. Now, for my final score prediction, I am going to take Baltimore in this game. I think they're too good. They're playing at home. Baltimore playing at home, they've been ridiculous. They destroyed Detroit at home. They beat other great teams at home. Listen, they're a tough team to handle when they're at home. So, I do have Baltimore winning this game. I've been winning 27-20. So, I would take the Texans with the points. I don't really see this game getting too ugly. C.J. Stroud, his first game, didn't play bad at all. He threw for 242. He didn't have any touchdowns, and he didn't have any interceptions. So he played just a solid game. But Singletary is now playing. Nico Collins is still coming along well. Robert Woods is back. Noah Brown's also back from injury, and Dalton Schultz is coming along as well. So listen, two totally different teams because the Ravens were also a little rusty in the first game of the year for both of these teams, but I think both these teams have improved, but I just like the Ravens. I like their talent. They're playing at home. They're on fire. So my biggest thing is rest, but I will take the Ravens 27-20. Peace.